Arnold Schwarzenegger trained 7 days a week for years before he ever won his first Olympia. He and his training partners figured out that the secret to staying pain-free under that kind of volume wasn't rest, it was spending time in positions that most people never hold for more than a second. And the 5 holds I'm about to show you come straight from that era. They take 15 minutes, they require no equipment, and they will do more for your joint pain, your stiffness, and your mobility than any stretch or any pill ever will. So let's get into them. The first one comes straight from the posing room, the overhead lockout hold. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've pressed overhead. Everybody does overhead pressing. But here's the thing. Pressing through a movement and holding a position are completely different things, and the hold is what actually builds joint stability. When Arnold and his training partners held the top of an overhead press for time, they weren't showing off. They were training the rotator cuff, the lower traps, and the serratus to stay switched on under load. That sustained tension is what keeps your shoulder joint centered in its socket. Without it, the joint drifts, soft tissue gets pinched, and you get that familiar ache every time you reach overhead or sleep on your side. Most shoulder pain isn't a structural problem. It's a stability problem. And sustained isometric tension is how you fix it. Here's how you do it. Stand about 6 inches from a wall and press both palms flat against it with your arms fully extended overhead. Keep your elbows straight, but not snapped back into hyperextension. Now pull your lower ribs down so your back stays flat, no arching. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Push your hands into the wall like you're trying to move it without actually moving it. You should feel the entire back of your shoulder and your upper back light up almost immediately. That burning feeling spreading across your shoulder blades is exactly what you want. It means the stabilizers are working. Hold for 30 to 45 seconds. Rest 60 seconds, 2 rounds. The mistakes here are predictable. The first is shrugging. The moment your shoulders crawl up toward your ears, you've lost the position and transferred all the work to your neck. Keep them down and back the entire time. The second mistake is letting the lower back arch to compensate for tight shoulders. If your ribs flare out, you're not actually getting your arms fully overhead. Your spine is making up the difference. Pull the ribs back down before anything else. If the wall version feels manageable after a few weeks, progress to holding a light plate pressed overhead with no wall for support. Work up to 60-second holds. When 60 seconds feels controlled and steady, you have the shoulder stability most people spend years in physical therapy trying to rebuild. The second hold is one Arnold talked about in interviews more than almost any training concept. Time in the deep squat. Not a half squat, not parallel. The absolute bottom, with your hips below your knees and your heels flat on the floor. The old Venice Beach guys didn't just train through a range of motion, they camped out at the end of it because that's where you build the connective tissue that actually protects your knees and hips. Cartilage, tendons, and ligaments don't get their nutrients from the bloodstream the way muscles do. They get them from the compression and decompression that happens when you load them through a full range of motion. A joint that never goes to its end range slowly starves. That's what's actually happening when your knees start to grind and ache. Years of reduced range of motion have left the tissue at the end of the joint weak and undernourished. The deep squat hold reverses that process directly. Here's how you do it. Set your feet about shoulder width apart with your toes turned out 15 to 20 degrees. Sink all the way down until your hips are as low as they'll go, keeping your heels glued to the floor. Bring your hands together in front of your chest and use your elbows to gently press your knees outward. Keep your chest as upright as you can manage. Breathe steadily, don't tense up. Sit there, 60 seconds to start, working toward 2 to 3 minutes over the coming weeks. The most common mistake is letting the heels rise. When your heels come up, the load shifts forward onto your knees and your lower back, and you lose the entire point of the exercise. If your heels want to lift, place a thin book or a folded mat under them until your ankle mobility catches up. The second mistake is caving the knees inward the moment fatigue sets in. Keep pressing them out with your elbows, and if they still cave, come up slightly until you find a depth where you can actually maintain the position. Depth is worthless if your knees are collapsed the whole time. Own the range you have before you chase more. The third hold is the one that shows up in almost every serious golden era training program, but almost nobody in mainstream fitness talks about, the dead hang. Arnold's training partners used this as a recovery tool between heavy sets. They'd finish a set of rows or pull downs and just hang from the bar for a minute before the next set. They weren't thinking about spinal decompression as a clinical concept. They just knew it felt like it reset everything. What was actually happening is that every vertebra in the spine was getting the compression taken off it. The muscles running along the spine were releasing after being loaded, and the shoulder joints were being pulled into a full overhead position they rarely got to experience. For people dealing with back pain and shoulder pain, nothing does what a hang does. Doctors and physical therapists charge significant money to put people through traction devices that do mechanically what a pull-up bar does for free. Here's how to do it. Find a pull-up bar, a sturdy doorframe bar, or anything solid overhead you can grip with both hands. Hang with your palms facing away from you, hands just past shoulder width. Let your feet leave the ground and just hang. Don't try to pull up, don't try to do anything. And here's the one active cue: pull your shoulder blades gently downward, away from your ears, as if you're trying to slide them into your back pockets. Not hard, just enough to switch the muscles around the shoulder on so you're not just hanging off the ligaments. Hold 30 to 60 seconds. 3 rounds, 60 seconds rest between. The mistake almost everyone makes is bailing out the moment their grip starts to burn. That burn is the point. Your grip is a direct indicator of joint health. Research consistently links grip strength to longevity and overall physical resilience, and it gets stronger fast if you stay in it. If you can't hang your full body weight yet, find a low bar or a sturdy door frame you can reach with bent arms. Let your knees bend toward the floor and take some of the load through your feet. You'll be bearing maybe 60% of your body weight, and you can adjust that percentage by how much you let your knees sink. Work toward full body weight as your grip and shoulder strength build. Once 30 seconds is easy at full body weight, work towards 60, then 90. Now, before I show you the last 2 holds, let me say something. If you're watching this because you're dealing with joint pain that's been following you around for months or years, stiffness in the morning, that grinding feeling in your knees or hips, a shoulder that hasn't felt right in longer than you can remember, you're not stuck with it. I built a 30-day program called Reboot Your Body specifically for people in that situation. It's a step-by-step system that rebuilds joint strength and mobility the same way this video does, just laid out as a complete daily plan so you don't have to figure out what to do next. We're talking about getting back to playing with your kids or grandkids on the floor, walking upstairs without bracing for impact, getting through a full day without that constant aching in the background. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. Same methodology as this video, complete daily structure, 30 days straight. All right, back to it. The 4th hold is one that Arnold swore by for keeping the hips and lower back healthy under heavy loading, and it's the one that fixes the single most common root cause of chronic back pain. The couch stretch hold. If you sit down for any significant portion of your day, in a car, at a desk, on a couch in the evening, your hip flexors have been getting progressively shorter for years. That shortness tilts the front of your pelvis downward, which forces your lower back into a constant arch, which compresses the joints at the back of the spine and strains the muscles that run alongside them. That is the actual reason most people's lower backs hurt, not the back itself. The hip flexors pulling on it relentlessly all day long because nobody ever stretches them under load. Passive stretching isn't enough here. You need to stretch these muscles while they're being asked to resist tension, which is exactly what this hold does. Here's the setup. Get into a kneeling lunge near a couch, a bed, or a wall. Instead of your back foot resting flat on the floor, push the top of that foot up against the surface behind you with your shin running vertical against it. Your front leg is in a normal lunge position, foot flat, knee at 90 degrees. Now here's the essential cue. Squeeze the glute of the back leg as hard as you can and push your hips forward. Keep your chest tall. Don't let your lower back arch. You should feel a deep, almost uncomfortable stretch running through the front of your back hip and thigh. That intensity is normal. Breathe into it. 60 seconds. Switch sides. 1 round per side to start, building toward 2 rounds over the coming weeks. The mistake that ruins this hold for most people is arching the lower back to fake the hip drive. When the back arches, the stretch leaves the hip flexor completely and loads up the lumbar spine, where you don't want it. The fix is the glute squeeze. A hard contraction in the glute automatically tucks the pelvis and shuts off the lower back compensation. You physically cannot arch your lower back while your glute is firing hard. If the full wall version is too much at first, start in a standard kneeling lunge with the back foot flat on the floor. Same glute squeeze, same forward hip drive, and build into the elevated version over a few weeks as the hip flexor lengthens and stops fighting you. The fifth hold is the one that ties the whole body together, and it's the one the Venice Beach guys used in warm-ups so consistently that it became practically invisible. Everyone assumed it was casual stretching between sets. It wasn't. The Kasac hold. Wide stance, much wider than shoulder width. Sink down onto one leg while the other extends completely straight out to the side with the toe pulled up toward the ceiling. The bent leg's heel stays flat on the floor. Your chest stays as upright as you can get it. Hold 30 seconds, switch sides, 2 rounds per side. Here's why this one matters more than people realize. Most mobility work isolates individual muscles. Stretch the hamstring here, open the hip flexor there. But your joints don't move in isolation. They move in combinations, and when one part of the chain is tight or weak, every adjacent joint pays the price. The knee compensates for the ankle, the lower back compensates for the hip. The Kasac hold forces the inner thigh, the groin, the lateral hip, and the ankle to function together in a loaded position that directly reflects how your body moves in real life. If you've been stretching your groin for months with nothing changing, it's because passive stretching doesn't build strength at end range. This hold loads those tissues under tension, and that is the only thing that produces durable, lasting change in how a joint feels and moves. The mistakes are straightforward. Rounding the back forward is the first one. Keep your chest up and put your hands together in front of you as a counterweight if that helps. Letting the heel of the straight leg lift off the ground is the second. That extended leg is doing real work. Keep the heel pressing down and the toe pulled toward your shin. The third mistake is sinking the bent knee so far forward that it drifts past the toes, which puts shear force on the joint instead of the loading you want. Keep the shin of the bent leg as vertical as your mobility allows. If the full range is too much right now, hold onto a door frame with your inside hand and use your arm to take some of the load while your hips and groin build the capacity to get there without support. That support will become unnecessary faster than you'd expect. All right, here's how you put all 5 together. Start with the overhead lockout. 2 rounds of 30 to 45 seconds, 60 seconds rest between rounds, then move directly into the deep squat hold for 60 seconds, no rest needed since you're transitioning from tension work into mobility. From there, go into the Kasac hold, 30 seconds per side, 2 rounds per side, working back and forth between legs with about 30 seconds rest between sides. Then the dead hang, 30 to 60 seconds, 3 rounds, 60 seconds rest between each round. Finish with a couch stretch, 60 seconds per side, 1 round each. The whole session takes about 15 minutes. 3 times a week is the sweet spot for most people. Within the first week, you'll notice less stiffness when you get out of bed, more depth in your squat, and shoulders that don't feel locked up every time you reach for something overhead. Within a month, the way your body moves day to day will be genuinely different. You'll squat down to pick something up without thinking about it. You'll stand up from a chair without that familiar tightness in the hips. You'll walk taller, not because you're trying, but because your body will finally have the structural support underneath it to do it on its own. That's what the Golden Era method actually builds, a body that's strong through its full range of motion, put together from the inside out with nothing but time under tension and a little floor space. If you want a complete 30-day plan that removes all the guesswork and walks you through a full progressive rebuild, grab Reboot Your Body through the link in the description below. And if this video helped you, subscribe. There's a lot more of this coming. Now close this video, find a wall, and put your hands on it. The lockout starts now.